Hi, church. In today's reading, we're going to be paying attention to Exodus chapter 14, especially verses 13 and 14 are two verses that reminds us that God is a God of hope and what to do when we're going through difficult times. Chapter 14 tells us that the Israelites were coming out of Egypt. By then, the Israelites have seen God's mighty power. They have seen how God has performed so many miracles for them. And even though they've seen it firsthand, they have their doubts. They were at the beginning of the Red Sea. And when they realized that the Egyptians are right behind them, they start complaining. Their first reaction is worrying. And they even going to ask Moses, why did you bring us out of Egypt? Did you bring us out of Egypt in the desert to die? But the answer that Moses has is an answer full of hope and wisdom. And there is something that is applicable back then for the Israelites, but it's something that we can also put into practice nowadays. And so verse 13 and 14 says, Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." These two verses remind us that we need to find peace in God. Be still and know that I am God, says the Bible. God will deliver us from evil. God will be there in difficult times. It's important to remember that instead of starting complaining and worrying when we're facing troubles, we think about all the times that God has delivered us from those difficult times in the past. God is a God who rescues us. God is a God who loves us. And God is a God who's under control and wants the best for each one of his children. Therefore, we need to trust the Lord, knowing that he has a plan for us. And even when times are difficult, God tells us, stay still and know that I am God. And if we're doubting, just like the Israelites doubted, we can tell God, help me to believe my unbelief, because the Lord is with us. He wants us to trust him because he's in control. He wants us to trust him because he only wants what is best for you and I. Amen.